So here we've got the deadlift. So probably my favorite exercise to do personally for myself, but an overall great exercise that I think everyone should be doing some variation of in their training program. So this tutorial is going to be a bit longer than most because it is a very technical lift. And I don't want to miss anything out, so I'm just going to take my time trying to explain it best I can for you. So, the first thing that we want to be thinking about with our deadlift is our approach to the bar. So, here we've got the bar and it's still. So where this bar is now, so if I roll it, we don't want to be walking up to the bar, and if it's moving about, adjusting the bar to us, we want to leave the bar wherever it is, wherever it starts. That is the most stable position for that bar on the floor. So we want to be lifting it from that position. If you're OCD and the bar's a little bit skew-with, just get over it because safety first. So, what we want to think about after that and not moving the bar is our foot position and our grip position. So, our foot position, we want to have our foot position as narrow as we can, taking into account our hip structure. So if you've got wide hips, that means your stance is going to be a little bit wider. If you've got narrow hips like me, that means your stance can be fairly narrow. So what that means is, the narrower our stance is, the straighter our arms can be down, which means we're going to have less range of motion, which is the aim of this exercise, is to reduce the range of motion to pick up the heaviest weight possible. So where do we want to be when we come up to the bar? We're not going to pick it up from here. We're not going to pick it up from here. So where do we want to be? So how I coach people, and my preferred method, is to walk up to the bar and simply thinking about having the shins roughly about an inch away from the bar. That's going to leave us roughly mid-foot, so taking mid-foot from between the toes and the heel, not the toes and the shin, which is a common mistake I see in quite a lot of lifters. From there, our arms want to come straight down, so just outside the knees, just outside the hips. That's going to allow us, like I said, to take as little range of motion as possible. So if you think about, if we stand out here, I'm now having to come further down, which means I've got to travel further up. So we want to come the least distance as possible to move the heaviest weights that we can. So once we've got our stance in the right place, what we're going to do from there is arms straight down to the bar. So I would suggest, unless you've got any desire to go into a powerlifting meet or competition, that you use double overhand. When the weight starts to get a bit heavier and start to roll away, then you can use lifting straps. Alternatively, you can use an underhand grip, which is going to stop the bar from rolling out of your hands. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to use double overhand. So we're going to reach down and grab the bar. When we reach down and grab the bar, we want to maintain that distance of our shins to the bar. So we don't want to reach down and then start moving the bar away. We want to maintain that inch. So we're going to reach down and grab the bar. So from there, what we're going to do is take a nice big deep breath into the diaphragm. Once we've got that in there, we're going to push out hard as we can through the belly button, creating our brace. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I need to talk, so I'm going to let my brace not relax, but it won't be as switched on as it would be if I was performing this in my training program. So we're going to reach down, big belly breath, and then from there, we're going to take the slack out of the bar. So now we know that the bar's getting pulled on. So what we want to think about when we come to perform the exercise is pushing away from the floor. So we're going to bring our bum down as far as we can without moving the bar away. As soon as our shins touch the bar, we're going to drive the knees out and then push the whale away, straight up. Exact opposite on the way down. So engaging the lats, pulling the slack out of the bar, driving the knees out, big push. So why I coach to push when a lot of people will consider this a pull exercise is because it's actually a perfect combination of both. It's a push and a pull at the same time. However, when we take the slack out of the bar, our body knows that we're pulling. So we want to think about pushing. So one more time, just to summarize it all. I'm going to walk up to the bar, feet hip width, based on your hip structure. Shins an inch away from the bar. I'm going to reach down, grab the bar. From there, we're going to take a nice big deep breath into the diaphragm, putting our brace on by pushing the belly button out. We're going to then take the slack out of the bar, bring our bum down as far as we can without moving the bar away, drive the knees out, and big push. Come back down, drive the knees out, big push. And there we have our deadlift.